Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
You know, I forgot to release those episodes that we recorded the other day.
Still?
Yeah, it's real bad.
So are you like 15 episodes behind?
No, because I lost 2, so I'm only behind the 2 we recorded on. What day is it right now? Tuesday.
Yeah.
The 2 we recorded last Thursday is the only 2 I'm behind on technically because I ain't got no war anyway. But I was only behind the 2 that we recorded before that I went to the beach as well. But I managed to delete those somehow on accident. Okay. Man, I'm silly sometimes.
So is this hasting now?
Mm-hmm. Sure is. Look at that.
Are we supposed to get 2 out of this thing? Oh no, just.
I was about to say,
that's
don't.
what we got.
Oh, that's right. Haste 2. Yeah. Feels
If
real
this
good.
thing doesn't work at the very top, I'm gonna be very sad.
Oh, this is Jeff's hole. That's why there's water flowing down.
I thought you said this is Jeff's wallet. I was like, ah! that was my escape path. Like,
Wait, what did you? Wait, what?
Did we want the hole?
I wanted to get out.
yeah, we need to get out of here.
I'm glad that guy just ran up and wrecked you.
Guude and I are both like on the way out of here. The water just disappears.
And Bria comes back. Are you going to take us out? Are you our escort?
We live here now.
How are we supposed to leave?
404.
It's the 404. We've already used torches. We lost.
Starting now.
Where'd that creeper fall? Ah!
I'm trying to dig my way out of here. I don't trust you guys.
I want out too. I ain't got no blocks.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Mm.
Oh, the water. Water's come back.
Wait, but now I'm probably.
I was so
almost
happy
out
too
of
that
here.
you had the whole heart of the ocean.
I made it.
God, you swim so fast now.
Whew. I like how there's a zombie following you.
What is there?
Yeah. I thought it was Brianna at first. I'm like,
What is gold? Oh, you made another hole.
well, I didn't know you were going to come back and try to save us. It seems like you were destined to kill us in there.
Don't worry about my motives.
Creeper. Good. I'm using the creeper to help us landscape.
No, yes, real good. So are you placing down sand, Brianna? Is that what you're over here doing?
I'm bringing sand over. We'll see how much.
You know
of it I
what? Why
place.
didn't we ever think of making a bunch of TNT?
Because he ain't got a bunch of creepers hearts.
That's true.
Yep,
We do not
that's
have
a thing
bunch
in
of
this
creeper
game.
hearts.
And the ones that we do have, we used to fly. Oh,
man,
Jesus,
who didn't
you've
sleep?
done
I
it
slept.
again.
I
Oh,
slept.
shit, you know who? You know who? I'll tell you who. It's the man getting hit on. They love me.
Where are these guys? Come on, bring it on, suckers.
I'll fly away. Fuck you.
Where did my... Oh no, I used the wrong bow and shot my only arrow. Crap.
Oh, that's good.
Skeleton, where are you at, skeleton? Why is there no
That's right, there's-
skeletons when I need them?
God, they fly fast. They're catching up with me as I
Are they
ran
flying
away.
to the bed.
Yeah,
Will they just disappear, or do we still have to kill?
probably still have to kill. Oh, they knocked me out of the bed. Ow, these
Oh,
motherfuckers
they knocked you out
hurt.
of the bed?
Yeah, and they hurt. They hurt so bad. Why are they so damn strong?
I would help if I skeleton. I really do think what it should be is it should be like the first night they should be pretty weak, and then if you continue to not sleep, they should get progressively stronger. They do seem like
Yeah,
just
that's a cool idea.
ridiculously strong.
They do that with
I mean-
quantity, so that if you don't sleep, they only a few of them come, and then they just keep getting more and more.
What's their
All these
max?
spiders have like a speed boost.
So that's what I've heard. I don't know the math.
The math sounds like somebody. Like the artist from Lean on
the
His Prince.
like the weekend.
Don't you
The
know,
Weekend
like,
is somebody?
Yeah.
Ludwig
Who
von...
the fuck is The Weekend? Is that a rapper or something?
Why you gotta be a rapper?
It
Is
could
that
be.
of the
I mean,
Phantom
no,
by
normally
Ludwig von Cohn?
normally rappers have
It's a
those kind of names. What?
It's a rapper.
See?
Jeez, why are you so fast, spider?
I'm gonna hit this bed so I can stave off.
Did you get those phantoms dead?
I did. I flew them away and then killed them.
I came all the way back over here. Try to
Just
help.
almost walked to my junk pile.
I ain't got an inventory anyways. I'm carrying my single flowers. Well, sing
Well, you need
flowers.
something to mark your grave with.
I don't have any more fireworks.
I got 6. I do have a couple of gunpowder. 2 to be exact.
God, that fork of yours, you could hear it a mile away. I think that's what you were hearing earlier, Jeff.
But were we anywhere near here?
I'm almost to the beds and I'm still hearing it, or I was.
I mean, I guess it's possible.
That's kind of what it sounds like. Well, the way you described it, I didn't hear what you heard.
I don't remember what I heard.
What I hear. Is that the song?
I mean,
Is that what that
a
song says? That's the lyrics, right? Do you hear what I hear?
I mean, in this timeline that I understand, yes, but you never know with the whole Mandela effect nowadays.
You just said the most pyro thing you've ever fucking said in your entire life.
What do you think of all the Mandela effect like?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You never,
Again, you sound like fucking Pyro Puncher right now.
So, no, the Mandela effect is the concept that... Like, what do you know about Nelson Mandela?
Very little, to be honest. Wasn't he locked away? Wasn't he like the president of somewhere, Africa, something? I don't know.
Yes. So,
and he was locked in prison for a period of time.
And he came out and became like the president.
Oh, he was locked away first, then he became the president.
Oh, well, I actually don't know the entire history of it all. But many people think that he died in prison. And then but he really didn't die in prison. And what they call that is the Mandela effect, that there's so many people who think that Nelson Mandela died in prison that when they found out he didn't die, people are blaming CERN when they're messing with the particle accelerator, that they're changing the past, but it's merging realities together.
Wait.
So
what the fuck are you talking about?
The Mandela effect. Like, this is a true...
Well, no, you've said those words already. I knew that's
the Hadron Collider at CERN, is experimenting with speeding up of particles and things like that.
Wait,
and
this is some flat Earth type shit, isn't it?
It kind of, yes. It definitely kind of is. And one of the biggest ones is like the Berenstain Bears. How do you spell the Berenstain Bears?
Well, that's always been like that. That's not
like what?
It's always
been like
what?
Well,
the books are spelled different than the actual author's names.
I don't think it has anything to do with
it's basically
name.
Popular belief outvotes actual facts.
Right. That's exactly what the Mandela effect kind of comes down to, but it's taken on this form that people are thinking that there's these merged realities. And it's kind of funny. So, and a lot of it comes down to like popular sayings like Forrest Gump, I think is a big one where they say, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, when actually the line is life was like a box of chocolates. But everybody's like, no, that's changed. It's changed from my reality. I know 100% that it used to say this, and it's changed. You know
what? That's the first thing you said that's convinced me. I'm now a Nelson believer. Because it wasn't it. Life is like a box of chocolates.
Life is or what?
Life is like a box of chocolates. That's what is said in the movie, right?
And it's just like apparently like the truth, you can't handle the truth, apparently isn't the real line. It's basically an excerpt from the line. Luke, I am your father was never a line that was said in Star Wars. It's just a concept of...
No, yes it is. Yes it is.
Not directly the lines, Luke, I am your father. It's
it was just I am your father, right?
Yeah. And that's where people start to go crazy with this whole concept, and you can never tell.
But wait, can we go back to the box of chocolates?
You'd have to watch like the videos of people. I'm not an expert in the Mandela effect. I'm just telling you common examples of it, and I don't know.
I've never heard of this though.
I'm shocked you've never heard of the Mandela effect.
I really haven't. So people think that Nelson Mandela did actually die, is what you're saying?
Correct.
Before he became president?
Right, and that's apparently like one of the most popular beliefs is about Nelson Mandela. Let me look up exactly. And that's why it has its name, is because so many people apparently thought Nelson Mandela died when he was in prison. That...
Why did they think that?
Nobody knows for certain. People who believe in the Mandela effect think that CERN has altered past that are now merging together because they're playing with, speeding up particles too faster than the speed of light, which has effects on the timeline, and et cetera, et cetera. That's the explanation from the people who believe in the Mandela effect. More common sense.
Do they think CERN knows this?
I don't know if they think this is a big government conspiracy per se. Whereas a lot of the other things, like flat earthers are a big government conspiracy. This is just a side effect or consequence of research that's getting done type of deal.
So I have a question about that too, because I remember as a kid when they were building the particle collider, because the first one collapsed or some shit while they were building it, didn't it? I remember because I think it happened is this thing in Texas?
I don't know where the CERN Hadron Collider.
CERN is in Europe somewhere, isn't it?
Okay, well this is not what I'm talking about, because they built one in the United States, this particle collider. I remember when they were building it, and we didn't know. I remember honestly the idea terrified me of it made me think about the time we set off a nuclear device in the atmosphere, and how we basically we almost scientists thought they'd done fucked up and fried the atmosphere, or the ozone layer or whatever. The idea of let's just fucking around and throwing hydrogen particles at each other without really knowing what was going to happen. It probably shouldn't have terrified me as much as a kid, but just the whole unknown aspect of it was man, we might blow the whole fucking planet up.
Yeah, here's the term Mandela effect was coined by the self-described paranormal consultant Fiona Broom, who has written on her website that she first became aware of the phenomenon after discovering that she shared a particular false memory, that the South African human rights activist and president Nelson Mandela died in prison during the 80s when he actually died in 2013. So is there a lot of people that thought he died in the 80s? Yes. A lot of people thought that he died, whether it's because... And this is the funny thing, if you ever watch some YouTube videos, I find them kind of comical to watch. A lot of people talk about... The what? YouTube videos on Mandela effect. Mm-hmm. People are trying to prove different, this is the one that will prove it for everybody. A lot of people start pulling off, they don't understand what the concept of Mandela effect is, and they show differences. And one of the ones I've seen lately is a guy finding all these old newspaper articles about the Titanic, where apparently it was originally reported that the Titanic was towed to safety. And he's showing all these newspaper clippings from this old newspaper that said that the Titanic was towed to safety, and how now the universes are even bleeding together in such a way that they can't keep their own facts straight, as opposed to it just being a false story, quote unquote fake news. But because back then they didn't know any better. They probably heard something from somebody who they thought they had the right information and then published it, because you couldn't communicate back then nearly as readily. So that's the thing now is that's not even the concept of a Mandela effect. That's in theory, if you believe that that's something really messed up, is that realities are actually bleeding together and the facts aren't even straight anymore with written.
Holy shit. You know what? I bet Trump has been telling the truth all along, and the thing is that there really is fake news.
No, there couldn't be.
Yeah, he's a victim.
He is. You know what? Let's start the Trump victims campaign.
Yeah, well, Trump's a victim.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'll see you later.
You don't like to get into some political stuff there, Brian? Why not? The audiences love it.
Mm-hmm. They do. It's never polarizing either.
Absolutely never. But yeah,
people on the same side will argue.
The what?
The people on the same side will argue with each other.
Yes. Yes, they will. I'm shocked that you've never heard of the Mandela effect, though.
I really haven't. It's honestly, it fascinates me. I'm going to go watch videos about it afterwards because I love stuff like this.
There are so many videos on the Mandela effect. It will blow your mind. And some of it will actually make you question yourself until you...
Well, the whole Forrest Gump thing did, because I really remember that his life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
And the funny thing is, if people break that one down, there's a couple... You read the comments to get to some of the truth behind some of them. I guess there's a different point in the movie where it is said more like life is like a box of chocolates, but it's not at the iconic scene that everybody associates.
Where he's sitting on the bench.
Right. Where he's sitting on the bench, he does say life was like a box of chocolates, and they will play that for you over and over in these videos when you watch them. One of them is what the hell? What was her name? Lizzie. something or other. The "you like me, you really, really like me," like that common saying that people attribute to something or other. I don't even know if you knew where that
Was
came
that Jerry Maguire?
No, it's from somebody doing an acceptance speech at an award ceremony.
Okay.
But that wasn't actually the words that she used, and it's blowing people's minds that when they watch it, and that she says like, God, what does she actually say? Like, "you like me. They said you wouldn't, but you like me," or something like that. But people have like stretched it at some point, and it's commonly caught on that she said, "You like me. You really, really like me."
I don't even know this one.
So there's this rumor that Avril Lavigne is dead and they've replaced her.
I have seen this, and honestly, some of that shit is a little bit convincing.
Wait,
and like how much her music has changed and
why
stuff.
would they replace Avril Lavigne? Like, even if she died, what would be the point of replacing her? Out of curiosity.
Well, they thought that like it said that she died like at a point where she was at like her peak, basically. And they didn't want to lose out on revenue, so a double was put in.
So is she Hannah Montana too?
What?
I said, is she Hannah Montana too? Isn't Hannah Montana?
What we heard you?
The what?
We
Hannah
heard
Montana,
you.
wasn't she? What was the other character that she played that everybody was? Oh my God! Do you guys not know anything about old pop culture?
Old pop culture?
Montana.
Hannah Montana is Miley Cyrus.
Yeah,
Miley Cyrus. That's what I was gonna say. Like, how
She doesn't play Miley Cyrus, so she is Miley Cyrus.
But okay, Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus.
Is Avril Lavigne Miley Cyrus too? Does that make it better for you if I put it in that order?
I don't understand. What did Miley Cyrus die too?
Never mind.
Okay.
Anyway, if
I
you
wanted
look
to
at
understand.
pictures of Avril Lavigne, it's like, who is this woman that looks like someone that doesn't look anything like Avril Lavigne?
Yeah.
I've never
Like
heard
there's like
this part of the
freckles that are
conspiracy
different,
before.
and like there's a lot of evidence about Avril Lavigne that I found whenever I dove through this. I don't really give a shit. It was just one of those things where I was just like, damn, are they right? Did Avril Lavigne
How
die?
amazing would it be to be the first person that came up with some random theory like that and have it take like control of people's lives? Because I guarantee there's been people who have researched this to the end of their wits' end because they want to get to the truth.
I'll tell you, as the person that got rid of Beef's legs and moved Arcus to Norway, it was really good.
You like being a troll?
I love those things. Honestly, I liked it until Beef got really upset with me and yelled at me, and then I felt bad about it because I thought it was funny. And honestly, I thought it was getting people to talk about him. I thought it was only positive. But then he got really mad. But Arcus gets really mad and yells at me too, but I just ignored him. But I guess that's a little bit different.
I didn't know
than
that
what you're saying.
Arcus actually got.
I think he's tired of the joke at this point, but I don't think he's not as mad as Beef was. Like Beef was like, people really think I don't have legs. I get these sympathy letters, and they're like, man, I'm sorry, I understand. I'm also a paraplegic, and just they believe it. And I'm like, I don't think anyone actually believes this, man. But he was. And I don't know. Maybe he was right. Maybe people really did believe it. I didn't think people really believed it. Because it was such a silly thing. I would say that's the reason why he doesn't go to conventions. I mean, no one's going to not go to conventions because they don't have legs. And how the fuck, like, why? I mean, it's such an outlandish, far-fetched thing that, like, I don't know.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm going to ruin
It
this farm.
it didn't seem like a real thing to me.
Hey, there's a dolphin over here.
Cool.
Have you
I thought
seen
they could always
dolphins
spawn in,
over
like,
here?
no.
Huh.
Do you think maybe your corridor changes things?
No. You okay, Jeff?
I was going to say, I don't know what to do. I keep trying to dig these, like, holes down, but the problem is we're breaking into the ocean so much that I'm about to flood what we already have finished of the farm.
Yeah, I think it's probably time to start dealing with this.
In the next step. Oh.
No.
I have no idea how long we've been recording. I haven't paid any attention.
It's 19 minutes.
No, so not yet.
Yeah.
Is this
What's
going to
this
have an
over here?
automatic sand machine?
I'll use it later. There's a lot of setup and tear down, even just to move the piston every time.
Why don't you just make the kelp do it as a renewable source? something.
Yeah, Brian.
Unlimited sand.
Are you Mandelaing me?
I'm not sure that.
Does that mean we put you in
phraseology
prison?
works.
And then I die? I don't know. I don't know this meme.
I don't either.
Why are squid so dumb?
God, I can't wait to hear about this afterwards and see all the other things.
I'm so shocked you don't know. Let me just look up common Mandela effect examples.
Beliefs.
20 examples of Mandela effect. Let's see here.
Oh boy, I'm so happy.
Oscar Mayer isn't spelled that way.
No,
That's
a
what
lot
you
of
mean,
spelling
better.
ones, I'm like,
Wait.
man, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, I think the Embarrassing Bears ones is pretty far fetched too, because that's how it's always been.
How do you think it's always? You've said constantly that's how it's always been. It's a difference in the spelling, but you never said which way you think it's supposed to be.
It's spelled two different ways. It's not spelled one way.
No, that it's not. It's spelled one way.
No, it's not. It's spelled two different ways depending on where you read it at. The author's name is spelled one way. The Bears themselves are spelled differently.
I don't think was the guy's name Berenstein. I don't even know.
Yeah, Jan and some shit Berenstein. It was a family. It was a man and woman.
Sounds very
Oh
German.
yeah, Jan and Mike. No, their name is spelled the same way as the.
Somewhere it's spelled
I
two
think
different ways.
you're going to be blown
depending
away
on.
by this Mandela effect because I think you're wrong.
No. Somewhere, or maybe it's on some books, and it changed. There is a change that happens at some point, and it's not not consistent. This one I've actually researched.
I think you're.
No, this one I have
falling
researched, and it had nothing to do with Nelson Mandela. I almost said Nelson Mandela, but didn't. But no, I've read about the Berenstain Bears thing because I was like, oh, I didn't know that.
I wonder if it's like in Germany that they didn't want to be a Stein, as if it's Berenstain Bears.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. It's something like that. You're right. There's something I don't remember the exact the deal, but it is spelled different. There are copies of the books.
What's the nationality of the authors?
I don't know.
Their names are John and Mike, but it could be Jan and Mike. I don't know.
Jan and Mikkel?
Jan and Mikkel. That sounds like a movie I saw once.
Sounds like a morning drive time radio. Welcome back to Jan and
It
Mikkel.
says Oscar Mayer isn't spelled that way, but isn't there a song? My Baloney has a first name, it's O-S-C-A-R. My Baloney has a second name, it's M-A-Y-E-R.
No, that's a different song.
M-E-Y.
M-E-Y. I don't even remember how to say it. But isn't there a song?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're saying that, like, Oscar Mayer... M-A-Y-M-E-Y... I don't remember how that song goes now. But either way, they're saying that that's... the A or the E where I'm screwing up is one of the big Mandela effects I didn't know.
Okay, that's one you've named. I want more. Feed me.
What's the show with about the New York chicks that were Sarah Jessica Parker?
Sex and the City.
A lot of people think it's Sex in the City, don't they?
Yeah,
That's
so
just
that's
stupid
one of
people.
them.
Well, yeah. I remember thinking for a long time it was Sex in the City back in the day when I was a kid, and then I was like, oh wait, no, it's Sex in the City or Sex.
So We Are
and
the
City.
Champions by Queen. What is the end of it?
We are champions, my friend. Is that what you mean? Like, we'll keep on fighting till the end? Like, what do you mean the end of it?
The
like
very last line of We Are the Champions.
Fuck, I don't know.
Sure.
So, common thought, and I thought this too, I'm going to have to listen to the song, is We Are the Champions of the World. At the very end, says that.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Apparently it's not. It just ends after We Are the Champions. There's no of the world in the song at all, according to this website.
Of the world ever in the whole song?
Apparently.
The very, very, very last line.
Nope, it's saying there is no of the world. The song just ends. It's driving people crazy because they feel 100% sure they've heard otherwise in the past.
At some point in that song, they say of the world.
Apparently not. I don't know. You'd have to listen to it again.
Let's cue it up. Who needs these videos?
Does the Monopoly man have a monocle or not?
No, that's the Peanut Man.
Perhaps they're just confusing him with Mr. Peanut, the Planet's Peanut mascot who wears a top hat and carries about a cane. Remember, people who can't seem to grasp how the Monopoly man is monocleless. The tip of Pikachu's tail isn't black. Whatever, I don't know.
Who cares?
The Berenstein Bears was actually the Berenstain Bears. Curious George never had a tail. Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah,
is
he always
not
had a little
spelled
stubby toe.
Chick-fil-A with a C, or Chick-fil-A with a K. What?
What?
I don't know what this is trying to say. Chick-fil-A. However, neither of those is correct because the company has allegedly, supposedly, reputably always been... Oh, Chick-fil-A is C-H-I-C-K, not C-H-I-C or C-H-I-K. I don't eat a Chick-fil-A enough to...
C-H-I-C-K is how it's spelled, right?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Darth Vader
then-
doesn't say, Luke, I am your father. C-3PO isn't all gold. I thought that was... Everybody knew that, though.
Isn't he go? Where does he not
He's
go?
got like
then?
one silver leg.
Does he?
Yeah.
What?
Huh.
I just don't think
I
it's
know.
talked about that much in the movie is the thing.
I mean, I just never really paid attention, I guess, enough to know.
Mona Lisa
But I had a
is
toy when I was a
smiling.
kid. I thought it was all gold. What'd you say?
Mona Lisa is smiling, and people used to think she was emotionless. The Kit Kat doesn't have a dad.
Wait, I thought she was emotionless.
A lot of folks passionately insist that Mona Lisa has changed because they remember her having a straight face, but now they feel...
I thought she
seems
was
she's got a
straight-faced.
Smirk.
Huh.
So, did Sinbad ever play a movie in the 90s where he was a genie?
Yes, of course he did. No, that was Shaq. That was Shaq.
So that's a big one, is that people keep attributing Sinbad to playing this genie called Shazam, even though it was Shaq who played a genie called Kazam.
Yeah. That's totally...
Life isn't like a box of chocolates. Life was like a box of chocolates. Hannibal Lecter never said hello, Clarice.
Yes, he did.
Hello, Clarice.
He did!
If you've seen Silence of the Lambs, you know the most famous line is hello, Clarice. The only problem is that never happened. And when Clarice first meets Hannibal Lecter, he simply says good morning.
Bull fucking shit.
Interview
I
with...
thought Hello Clarice was whenever he's cooking her dinner. I thought that's when that actually happened. But I thought he did say... Well, he did say it at some point, maybe.
Here's a go. The Queen in Snow White never said mirror, mirror on the wall.
No, yes she did.
While the famous Snow White quotes you probably heard, others say and repeatedly mirror, mirror on the wall. It turns out that the correct line is magic mirror on the wall. Some people also remember the second part of that quote being, who is the fairest of them all? But apparently is, who is the fairest one of all?
Okay, I'm starting to be a believer.
Jiffy peanut butter doesn't exist.
It's just Jeff.
Yeah, it's just Jif, but I don't remember it ever being called Jiffy. So,
And that's the popcorn.
how do you spell Fruit Loops?
What? Isn't it just Fruit Loops? Like, isn't it just like...
F-R-O-O-T-L-O-O-P-S?
No, it's not. I wouldn't actually know for sure.
You're
but
going to
I
have
don't
so
feel like...
much fun when you start watching these videos.
I'm a believer already, I think. I mean, I don't know what the cause is, but something's happened to our world. The Earth is... Maybe the Earth used to be flat.
Or maybe the Earth is flat now, and that's what's causing the problem.
Fuck.
That we should have gone to that
You're right.
convention, Guude.
I would if I could have got tickets. I tried so hard. I've never tried to go to a convention so hard in my life.
The convention that I don't think they really sold tickets to. I think those all.
I saw video. Well, yeah, I don't know if they sold tickets to either, because I don't think they wanted trolls to get in. But
Yeah,
when I watched those
tickets.
videos, there were people there. What'd you say, Brad?
They sold tickets, but they couldn't ship them anywhere because the planes don't know how to navigate flat Earth.
I could have drove though. It was right up the road. And what's the chances the first ever flat Earth convention being right here in my hometown?
I mean, it sounds like you're surrounded by good, smart people.
Is there more?
I mean, you can go to other websites and find so many more.
Okay.
but
I
that was
didn't know
just
if you got
one
through your
top
20.
list I just read through.
God, some of those are really good. Mirror on the wall. That one right there really kind of... I don't know about that one.
And I
man.
think a lot of these things are just people misremembering, quotes, and then they become popularized when somebody says the wrong quote, and people pick up on that and move forward. Some of them, though, that I don't know, that you start to insist that you remember on your own, like the Life is Like a Box of Chocolates one. It's going to be, I'm interested to see when you actually watch the YouTube videos of people who like actually play the clip and show you where, you're wrong, if that is going to make you go, that's crazy. Or if you're going to be like, oh yeah, I guess it does say that. You know.
Yeah, I mean, with that one, whenever you start with that to me, that was not one of the big ones for me. That one, I'm like, yeah, you know, I probably don't remember. I mean, Forrest Gump wasn't. I mean, it's a good movie and all. It wasn't like I watched it all the damn time. But I feel like I've seen Snow White a million damn times. And there's a couple other ones that you said where I was just like, man, that ain't right, yo.
So another one that was on the list was how do we know that they're called Ewoks in Star Wars? Because they never actually said Ewoks in the movie.
Really?
Oh, is it in the book?
Well, yeah, it's in the book. It's on a TV show and it's in all the other novels and stuff. But in the movie, they never say Ewok.
Really?
But the movies were based off of books, right? So they don't have to say it in the movie for people to very easily.
But most people only saw the movies. They didn't read the
but
books.
people, I'm sure, talked about it afterwards, and somebody probably was like, "Oh yeah, the book called those things Ewoks," and people were like,
well, there was like a cartoon series or something when I was a kid they were in. And that's
Mhm.
I think that's where I really knew the Ewoks from. Because in the movie, I don't feel like the movie is. I don't know. And you know, it's kind of weird whenever they get so angry about some of these things that they've put in recent movies that are supposed to appeal to kids. Whenever we had fucking Ewoks back in the day, man. They were the dumbest thing, but they were there to appeal to kids.
Mm-hmm.
Jar Jar Binks is my favorite.
I like how people get angry.
I had
about
a
that
sweet
sort of
read along story time like audiobook Ewoks book thing. Where you played a record along while you read it.
stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Was it a record or an 8-track? I don't remember. Yes,
It's
I had
probably an
an
8-track.
What was the predecessor to 8-tracks? AM radio. Is that all there was?
Records, I think.
Were they
Well, yeah.
predecessors?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess I thought they kind of came out at the same time.
Like Blu-ray and HD DVD.
Well, yeah, I just thought they were different types of media. Like one was more portable, but it wasn't as high a sound quality.
Were there ever record players in cars, I wonder?
Well, I mean, my
probably.
assumption is no. That's kind of why I thought that the 8-tracks
Well, I mean, you
were
could
for
like, you know,
portability.
like go somewhere and park or whatever and listen to your record then. I mean, you definitely can't drive down the road, but I wonder if there were ever any record companies that
You have
tried to make
go
record
park
players
and
for
then
cars.
Place a record into your in-dash like radio.
Yeah.
Man, if you thought that CD players skipped in cars back in the day, can you imagine a record?
They came out with
Yeah,
records
right.
that had the 10-second skip protection.
God, I remember the first time I bought a portable CD player, and I spent a fortune on the damn thing. It was someplace like Best Buy, but they went out of business like a week later. And then it just broke on me, and I couldn't get a refund. I'd spent so much money. I was so sad. And they're supposed to have the skip protection, and it never worked. And that was so awful. You couldn't move.
$150 back in the day, and then they
That's what I spent on the stupid
little
damn
shock
thing.
pad that actually made things worse. It was supposed to absorb the shock from your car. All it did was make the thing rattle for like 10 times longer after you hit a bump. And I remember when I bought my very first, and I spent a fortune on this one, portable CD player that played MP3 files. And it was amazing because all of a sudden I had this disc that had 650 megs worth of MP3s on it. And people thought it was like the coolest thing in the world. But the problem is you could only like skip by ones. And it was whatever order you put them on the disc. So you could never find a song. Like you couldn't search for title or anything like that. It was just a track number. And if you put it on repeat, a lot of times it would, even if there was like hundreds of songs on there, it would play like the same song 3 times in a row because the shuffle function didn't work right.
Wow. It's really funny. Well, we should probably go. We went way over time. We were close to time when Brian first asked, and then we just went into this Nelson Mandela thing. And here we are, 30 minutes in.
All right, guys.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.